Welcome to the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45, and I'm here this afternoon with a couple of cool guys that I've met down in Florida. We got Mike, we got Daryl. Welcome to the show, guys. How
What's
you doing?
up? What's up?
Thanks
for having us.
Really,
Hell yeah.
I really appreciate it. Met Daryl do a meetup when I moved down here to Florida, so that was exciting. He's a good guy. He leads meetups. I'm gonna let him tell all that, but I'm very excited to have him on the show. We've been trying to schedule this for a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Schedules, it's been crazy, but it's nice to finally get to have you on. Before I start, I want to thank the sponsors, the affiliates, Woodcraft, also Pirelli Tire. You get a discount with Pirelli Tire, so mention Be Forever Cool. You get 10% off some race slicks. If you spend over $100 with Woodcraft, you will get a free t-shirt. It's always good to have merch. Also go to the website, beforevercool.com, and sign up and become a Patreon member. With that said, we'll start with Daryl, man. How you doing? Introduce yourself, tell the folks a little bit about you.
Daryl Lane. I'm co-owner of Vagrant Automotive Racing, also a part of the 941 Riders and 941 Moto Collective, which are just some of the motorcycle communities here in the Florida area, Southwest Florida. Been riding since 2009, had a bunch of different types of bikes in between now and then, and have a lucky opportunity to always be able to spend time and partner with my best friend here, Mike, to build this business and to build the community.
All right, Mike.
Mike Allen, riding just as long. We started riding in 2009. We've had multiple variations of bikes, sizes. Decided to do a gear brand together. Once again, it's my best friend of 40 plus years.
Yep.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's
so talk to you, Daryl. How did you get into riding? Like, what was your moment to say,
Oh,
hey,
man.
I want to ride? I mean, for me, it happened later in life.
Yeah.
What was it like for you and how you got into it?
Honestly, it's crazy. I think the first thing that sparked my interest in riding was my dad had a 1987 Honda Hurricane, and he put me on the front of the bike. I don't know how old I was, and he let me control the throttle.
Yeah.
And when he took off, that sent me into a whole space of knowing that at some point in my life, I was going to have a motorcycle. And in 2009, I was working in an insurance office, and one of the ladies' husbands had an 05 636, and she was like, oh, he's getting rid of his bike. And I was like, really? And she said, yeah. And I was like, well, I want it. I didn't even know how much they wanted to charge for it or anything like that. And she was like, just go to the house and go grab it. Mind you, I didn't know anything about riding a motorcycle. So I got the keys to her house, went to their house. This is in Philly, mind you. So there wasn't really a driveway or anything like that. It was literally, the bike was in the basement. So I got the bike out the basement, and I'm like, all right, how the hell do you start this thing? I figured out how to start it, and then I'm like, okay, how do you ride it? And I already knew how to drive a stick, so I was like, all right, I know where the clutch is, know where the shifter is, and I just took it down the street, and I was like, all right, I'm on a motorcycle, and then I was like, how do you turn this thing? And I didn't really understand turning a bike or leaning a bike, but that was my first real intro. I mean, I had I tried to restore my dad's bike because he crashed it, but I never really rode it. It just was a restoration. And that's how I wound up getting into it. So my first official bike was a 05 Kawasaki 636. Nice. Loved that bike, man. Yeah, that was my baby.
That's what's up, Mike. How about you?
First bike, man. So my mom grew up with my grandmother being a barmaid at biker bars.
Okay.
So my mom was completely against bikes. So the first bike I've ever officially rode was a 77 CB350. It was a bike my dad bought that stayed at his friend's house, so my mom didn't know he had it. He only invited me because he figured if he was going to get in trouble, I should get in trouble too. But my first official bike, being the mechanic I don't like to pay anything full price. I picked up a 94 Suzuki Katana 600. The guy had it listed on Craigslist. This is how long ago this was. For $800, and it dropped one day to $250, and I called him. He's like, I dropped it, it don't start, and I'm like, all right. So I had my buddy run down with me. We put it in the back of a truck, and we drove a block away, and I seen that the neutral switch was broke. I connected the wires, I fired up in the bed of the truck. I'm like, cool. I called him up, and next thing you know, the Katana 636 are out and about.
That's what's up.
Crazy.
That's what's up.
That bike was a death trap, bro.
It was. It
The
was.
fucking Katana was a death trap,
It's
like legit.
You just hope everybody else got on it.
Right. That thing was crazy, bro. Crazy.
It started and yeah.
He rode it though. He rode the balls off of it.
I've driven vans with no brakes.
Right.
I gotta stop like 300 feet.
You just release the space.
Yeah, to release space.
Downshift.
That thing is
So,
crazy.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Now, at what point? I have a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
But well, let's start with this. What made it stick for you guys? Because a lot of people get into riding, and they a year or 2 or 3, maybe 5, maybe 10. Some
Yeah.
people get in it and then they tap out.
Yeah.
What kept you in it for so long? And then we'll talk about what made you want to start giving back to the community, because that's a whole nother level.
That's a good question. For me, I mean, and maybe even for both of us slightly, right? Like, we came from the car space, so we were building Hondas and racing cars and doing a lot of street stuff. And when I got the motorcycle, it was a direct correlation to cars, but a lot smaller in size. So then the maneuverability was the attraction. Like, how could I learn to maneuver this the same way that I maneuver a car, or maybe even better? So it really, what kept me in it was the mastery of it. Like, how do you master this machine? Because I'm a real nerd for information and skill set. Like, I chase skill set. So for me, the bike was oh, this is a whole entire new level of skill set. People weren't going fast in the corner when we were growing up.
Right.
That's where everybody slowed down. I was like, how do we, we were highway kids, you know what I mean? In and out of cars.
How do we keep
in and out of
going?
cars was the deal when we were younger. In Philly, it wasn't a lot of cool roads. Right. So you was highway blasting 95 to the airport, whoever get there first.
Gotcha.
And that grew into all right, well, how do we get around the art museum? How do we get around? There's different roads called Kelly Drive, the art museum, and all that stuff is it got a little bit of wind and turn to it. And we wind up linking up with 2 guys, my guy Dame and my guy Rel, which we don't talk as much, but those guys were the foundation of taking my motorcycle riding to the next level. So
100%.
Dame in his house, man, it was crazy. He had multiple bikes, he had pit bull stands, he was always had something motorcycle on the TV. And I would just go to Dame's house and just sit on bikes and be like, yo, what do I do with this? How do I do that? And he was a track guy.
Gotcha.
So that that drew me deeper into wanting to learn more about the game. So that was the first person that told me about Twist of the Wrist, Keith Code, some of these different books that I think are still 100% foundational books for any type of rider to learn how to get yourself past that first initial stage of riding. So
Right.
it was the skill.
Yep. How about yourself, Mike? Ditto.
Yeah, essentially, the only thing I'd really add is, so being in the car game, we've put a lot of money into cars. And you can put 20 grand into a car, and it's still not fast.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Right.
But you could drop 20 grand on a bike, and you're fast now.
Yeah.
Right.
So the cheap speed has always been there for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I agree.
And I love the lack of electronics. We both rock older bikes. We're not fans of ABS. The bikes that I have with ABS, I shut it off. I don't like it. I remove it,
Yeah.
And the same thing I've always done that with all my cars as well too.
Okay.
So it's transferred over in that aspect as well too.
No, I agree with as far as the cheapness of it. Like you guys, I was into cars too. Volkswagen.
Okay.
An Audi. So
We're not mad at you for that. We're not mad at you for that. Little
I feel
little
like,
difficult.
I feel like the Volkswagens kind of set the trend.
You got to add an extra set of tools, a whole new set of tools in your world to work on those cars, but we're not going to go there.
But coming to the motorcycle side of things, you're absolutely right. It's a lot cheaper to get a bike, to build a bike up and stuff like that. I mean, once you start chasing records, obviously it gets up there. With
Totally.
Like just being able to ride, have fun, full gas, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And not too many people can keep up with you. So,
Right.
you don't have to worry. The competition is less.
Yeah.
As far as when it comes to cars and bikes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Race other bikes.
Totally. Yeah. And then you realize something else.
Like that. So now let's talk about the company. You guys started the company.
Yeah.
For gear. Well, you guys tell it because I
Yeah.
more than gear.
Yeah. It's an interesting story. I'd say a year and.
Yeah,
At this point, probably a year and a half ago, we were just watching what was happening in the motorcycle space. We were watching social media really bringing bikes back into the scene because it seemed like the bike world kind of went for a little of a downward trend.
Right.
And as you're seeing social media, people starting to buy bikes, they're talking about it. You're seeing more and more people, especially younger groups of people and newer riders, buying motorcycles. And what we were seeing was the other side of it, right? Which were the crashes and the accidents. I've been down on a bike multiple times, but I always had gear.
Right.
And the gear, I saved my life plenty of times. I mean, he's called my family a couple of times on some of those accidents. Like, it was wild. And that right there was like, I was like, yo, we need to build something that's going to get people who don't want to wear traditional leather gear geared up.
Gotcha.
And that was kind of like the starting phase of, all right, well, let's design our own motorcycle gear. But a part of it was we just didn't have the bread. So we decided we were going to we already fixed cars on the side together all the time. We already fixed bikes on the side. So we were like, let's focus on trying to build up some bikes that we can move through, we can fix, we can sell, and take that money to start investing into the research we needed to do to build the gear brand. And as we started to build the gear brand, we found manufacturers and stuff like that. And initially it started to create our first hoodie, which is the Apex Chaser Armored Hoodie, which we'll show you guys in a little bit. But that was really kind of like the start of it, which was I didn't want to see people who were new on bikes without gear. And it goes beyond gear. It's about protection, and protection has layers to it, right? So yes, we want to protect you with gear, but we want to protect you with knowledge, making sure people understand how to ride a motorcycle in a way that's going to keep them safe on the street. We all been to the track. We love the track, and me and Rex have gone back and forth at different conversations. Like, I think the track is a great place, but I equally know that most people won't do it. So can we meet people where they are here on the street and get them better riders on the street? And maybe through trust and friendship, we can get them to the track too, but at least try to meet people here. So it's like the gear brand's become a lot bigger than just gear.
And like, what's the research behind it, and how did you decide which manufacturers to go with, and even just to get into the game, because there's big companies out there that they're on every bike, everybody wants the gear and all that stuff. So it's not an easy place to come in. No,
it's not easy at all. But the one thing that I've learned through time of being in sales and understanding the new world of just being in business is you don't need to compete with large companies. In this new world of social media, every one person is their own social media brand that can build an audience and eventually build a product that can flow through that audience. So for me, it was like, we don't need to compete, number one. Number two, we jumped on Alibaba, and I went through all the different manufacturers, and we were on late night calls and 2 a.m. calls with China and Pakistan and all these different places. And we realized when you do a lot of research, a lot of gear comes out of Pakistan. A ton of gear comes out of Pakistan, and it's not cheap gear. There's some quality there you have to take a look at, but had to learn about CE levels and learn about your C level 1s and CE level 2s, your stitching, and learning about your AA rating and AAA ratings, and those were things that we had to learn to have a better understanding. And then understanding like what material translates differently, like, right? If we're not going to have leather gear, then what's going to be the thing that saves people's skin? Understanding that it's going to be Aramid Kevlar and some of these different things that are materials that are going to be able to be protective. And Mike, man, how do you guys go about like reaching the community and bring that awareness?
We do social media. We have the Facebook groups, as Daryl mentioned earlier, 941 Riders and 941 Moto Collective. We go out to group rides. We host slow drills on Mondays, as Daryl was saying, to help the new riders get used to being on the bikes. Slow speed will actually translate to fast speed. So we try to get them to do that. The group rides are controlled. Nobody's left behind. The pace is set. Just try to make sure every ride's safe but still has fun. In a controlled environment. We don't. We really don't let nobody really wheelies with us too often. We don't do burnouts or nothing like that. Try to be respectful of where we're at, so we can continue to ride through that particular route, and also bring the people with us.
Nice. And how has the motorcycle community been as a whole with what you guys are doing and stuff like that? What's that been like?
Honestly, there's been a handful of people that I can say have been super instrumental. I mean, like Lonnie has been super helpful in terms of introducing me to a lot of people in the community. The community itself has been super open and receptive. But I've also, and me and Mike can both attest to this, we didn't come into the motorcycle community saying we have a gear brand. We came into the community to be a part of the community. I didn't talk about any of our gear for a long time because I didn't want anybody to think, hey, they're just here to sell gear. I wanted people to see us, to experience us, and to feel us in the actual space. To say, hey, this dude's out here. He's riding every week, multiple times a week. He's going to Orlando. He's going to Lakeland. He's riding with these people. He's riding with that people. To build the presence. To say, hey, I'm in this thing. And I don't even care if we sold the gear or not. Me and Mike, the cool thing about our hoodie, we built the hoodie because we knew we would like it. We knew we would like it. And we wanted something else to have, right? So that to me put us in a position where it wasn't just about like come into the community and sell your shit. It was come into the community and be it.
Yeah.
Be a part of it, right? People like Sarah D, she's been super instrumental in introducing us to different people. Then we get guys like Sean and guys like Chris and all these other people that are already OGs in the 941 rider community who were just like, yeah, like we like what you're doing. We like who you are. Come out more. And the more I showed up, the more I started to do things, the more people were like, okay, this guy actually means what he says and he has follow through and commitment. And the one thing I'll share, and Mike can probably attest to this too, is like when people know I'm going to go out, they know we're going to be out, they don't have to question that. If we say we're going to go, we say we're going to do a ride, we say we're going to be there, we're there.
They show up.
And that's something that people can rely on in terms of trying to create more in the community, because the community exists before we ever even touched it, right? But to come into the space and say, hey, like, we're going to take this to another level. We're going to do something that no one else is doing. That's where I think the change came in.
You know, what do you say to people who, like, I didn't really go to meetups.
Yeah.
I started riding up north in Boston.
Yeah.
I was more like a nomad rider.
Yeah.
I rode everywhere by myself for the most part. I had other guys that raced with. But, you know, when I moved down here, you know, I figured it would be a good way to get out and meet some people and just doing research and seeing comments of what some people write. There are a lot of people that don't like meetup groups, don't like riding groups, don't like to be a part of it.
Totally.
You know, they just want to, I don't want to say they want to ride down the street with just a t-shirt and sunglasses on.
Yeah.
But they don't want any, you know, knowledge, advice, any community.
Yeah.
What do you say to folks like that?
Honestly, I say, hey, if that's how you want to ride that way, right? I can't, trying to bend someone's wheel is like trying to bend steel, right? You can't change someone's mind. But what we can do is say, hey, you have not probably had the experience of why you need to wear this stuff. Whether it's our gear, whether it's Alpine Stars, I don't care. You don't have the experience that's telling you why this really matters. And a lot of times it's younger riders who have that kind of complex that like nothing's going to happen to me.
And hold your thought.
Yeah.
And when you say younger riders, you know, I go into a store. I know this lady that had a boyfriend. They rode, and friends rode. He lost two of his friends, and he sold his bike. Right. So, you know, to go to that, like the younger riders, like instead of getting gear, you know, saying the fear of losing someone or getting messed up takes them out of the community altogether, and never got a chance to exercise what the community can give you.
Which, honestly, I would say if that was how that person mentally dealt with it, then that's probably better.
But that's how a lot of people deal with it. Go to Craigslist. There's a lot of bikes for sale.
It's probably better that if someone had that type of experience, they got rid of the bike completely. Because it takes a certain individual to be in this space and stay when death happens. Right? Because I'm not saying we're any better than anybody else, but we deal with life slightly differently, and we have a slight disattachment to the reality of this game, which is people are going to pass on, people are going to get extremely hurt. We accept that as a part of our lot for getting on the motorcycle. I think a lot of people ride motorcycles like they drive cars. Just willy-nilly. Just in it, just enjoy, and it's fine, enjoy it. But like this thing,
that's how you're supposed to drive cars, right?
No, but this, but that's how people drive cars, because they got this like layer of protection, right? Bikes, there's no layer of protection. Our body is a layer of protection, which means 1, be healthy, be strong, work out. 2, have gear, wear the right protection at the right conditions, depending on what you're doing. But I truly believe like some people don't need to be on them.
Right. Yeah, I suspect if you don't have a little bit of self-control, it's very
discipline.
And it's tough. I mean, I think any young person. I feel like if I got into bikes when I was in my 20s, I'd have been doing the same thing. Because I was doing it in cars.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
The only difference is I just wasn't on a bike, but I still did dumb stuff in cars, and I just got lucky enough that I didn't get myself in serious trouble. So, I mean, is there a way to connect with younger people? Outside of I think that kids that grow up in the space from young, parents or uncles or whoever, they know.
They definitely know.
But the ones that are like, hey, I want to get in a bike or I want to go to Cancun, no idea. They just want to go. And how, you know. You got to meet people where they are. And this is kind of like what I said a little earlier about the track stuff versus the street stuff. If someone is new, if someone is coming in, they don't have the gear, whatever it may be, you just kind of have to meet them in that space and say, like I always do, hey, Dad, man, where your boots at? I just ask. And they be like, oh, yo, I don't have the money. And I'm like, all right, well, what size is your foot? Let me see if I have a used old pair.
You don't have to buy new gear, people.
Yeah, you don't.
Marketplace is full of used gear.
Yep.
And I try my best, and Mike will tell you, I'll buy suits on Marketplace just so that we have them. There's suits under there that's under our brand stuff because I like to just make sure we have extra stuff just in case.
Right.
Damn, this person don't have no jacket. Damn, this person don't have no gloves. Hey, you can use this during this ride. When we get done, give it back to me. We've had people come with their girls on the back of a bike.
T-shirt.
Where her gear at? Oh, I don't got.
I know.
Yo, I got a jacket right here for a woman, right there.
Yeah.
I got gloves over there. Put this on when we get done. Bring it back.
The worst thing I don't like to see is one person has the helmet when there's two people on the bike.
There's two people on the bike.
It's like, okay.
But
You gonna split this helmet?
I tell everybody this because I think people confuse fun with thrill.
Yeah.
Motorcycles, riding a motorcycle is a thrill-seeking experience. It is a danger thrill-seeking experience. A lot of people treat it like it's just a fun experience. Like if we're going on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You got to strap in on a roller coaster. There's no strap in over here. So the only thing you can do is protect the exterior, right? So I think that there's a mentality. It's a mentality component to this that we have to figure out how to address.
Yeah.
But it's meeting people where they are. Yesterday we had an event at RPM Power Sports. There were some kids, some younger people that came out, not really dressed for the part. Oh, where your boots at, bro? Dang, where your jacket? Like,
Yeah.
just dive in and then let them talk to you and hear why. And I think if we can listen to people's reasons on why, we can meet them where they are, and then we can have a conversation about hopefully getting them a little bit more protection, right?
Do you want to talk more about RPM and what you guys are doing with them and
Yeah.
all that stuff? And it's just, it was a reopening, right?
Yeah. So RPM Power Sports, right there off of 12th Street in Sarasota, had their grand reopening. So they moved to a new location. Beautiful spot. They did their grand reopening event last night, which was really cool. We had around, I guess, 15, 20 people come with us out to the event. And then total, there was probably a good 50 to 60 people that came out. They had a DJ, they had music. But one of the cool things about that partnership is there's an announcement that we just made that we're going to be renting out Jennings October 24th for a track day for the Southwest Florida people. So as I was saying, trying to get people from the street to the track, we meet them where they are and then we bridge the gap. We're able to do that. You know, they're going to be having our gear in their store, hoodies, leather jackets, gloves, stuff like that. We also have a relationship with Destination Power Sports where our armored hoodies actually in their shop, and hopefully other gear will be in that shop over time as well. So there's some really cool things in the works that we're trying to take it.
That happened. And you talk about the track day at Jennings, and you guys have recently started going to the track.
Totally,
so
yeah.
It's not like you guys have been doing track days forever.
No,
it's also a new experience
not at all.
for you.
Yeah.
But you obviously feel connected enough to it to want to bring it to other people.
Totally.
And stuff like that. So
Totally.
let's talk about your experiences at the track, especially after having so many years of just street riding.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? Because we spent a lot of time on the street riding, but we spent a lot of purposeful time on the street developing the skill set as a rider. And having our track days that we went to Homestead, then we did Jennings, and the track is a different environment. It does allow you the space to really just get your bike to do what it was built to do, but it equally has danger. It's just a different level of danger, and the safety factor is there's paramedics on site immediately. So you have that component. So I think Mike can talk best about this because when we were at Jennings, like we had a great first day, and then the second day it was like, damn,
Not so great.
not so great. Mike, please share your story, bro.
No, I'll agree with Daryl there. There's the bridge between the track and the street. You can do more on the track than you can on the street, in my opinion, or I'm willing to do more. I'm not worried about running wide and hitting the curb. You know, if I run wide, I'm running into the grass, so I'm pushing harder, faster. My track experience was, so far it's been great. I definitely just had an accident last time we were there. I got hit in a turn and I high-sided and got thrown off the bike. Our gear protected us. I can attest to the suit.
Yeah. The gear works.
Talking to you. I did have a tear in my left shoulder. It's healing up good. But even with that happening, I'd still go back and do it again.
Totally.
This because, I mean, it comes with the territory. I could have got hit on the street too, but at least it was just another motorcycle, and we had room to run, and I went into the grass.
Yep.
You know, if that was on the street and a car clipped me, that might have been a pole. That could have been a cement barrier, or a parked car, or a building.
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't know.
Totally.
So I do feel the track safer in some aspects, but it's kicked up a notch. So everybody's going faster and pushing harder, trying to run. They also treat open track days like they're running a race.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I will say, like, you guys doing the private track day is so much better than the open ones because, I'm a racer first and track day second, just because it's how it started. I started racing and started doing track days until like 5 years later.
Wow.
But at that point, I already knew that a track day is for training.
Yep.
Yes.
And, but there are a lot of people who go to track days, they're in the advanced group, and they're racing with their buddies.
Right.
But, the problem is when there's, 20 bikes on the track, only 3 bikes are racing, no one else
No one knows that, yeah.
And the track organization tells you not to do that.
Right.
So at the end of the day, that if you feel like you're fast enough and you want to run, you and your buddies go club race.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the next. When you want to be the fastest times at a track session, start going racing because then you're on the track with other people who are also racing.
Yep.
One mindset, and I think that will also make track days safer.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
And especially for new people that show up because, if you have a first bad experience, a lot of people don't want to go back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Versus having a better experience and so forth. So I know there are a lot of track organizations that do a really good job of that stuff, but in the moment, if people decide to go full throttle, you really can't police that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the downside to it. But you're absolutely right. I think if people treat track days like just a practice session, learn how to get better. The fast group, everybody, we just practicing. We're not trying to stuff each other on the inside.
Right.
Just to have a great conversation on the way home.
Yeah.
Right? You can get trophies for that.
Right.
You sign up for a race event, which is also cheaper than a track day.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So you guys also doing an event coming up pretty soon. I think it's a bike night down here now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that because when I first got down here, I was doing the ones up in St. Pete's and traveling.
Right.
A good way.
OCC.
To go hang out and so to have something I can show up on my scooter now.
Right. Please come on your bike, man. Come on a Ducati. Don't come on a scooter.
It's really cool. But again, what made you guys decide to do that? And you had one so far. Let's talk about that. How it was and what it means to the community.
Yeah, happy to share. I mean, this is something that me and Mike talked about, but me and Lonnie talked about it a lot in our conversations about just the motorcycle scene down here. There's not really a big scene in this Southwest Florida area, especially if you don't include, like, yes, we include Fort Myers. We love you guys. We want you to show up to everything. But from, Bradenton down to Fort Myers, there's really nothing happening. So it was kind of like an opportunity for us to say, hey, you know what? Let's get the community together. It doesn't matter what Facebook group or community you are or what colors you wear. Like, let's just get everybody together and celebrate just being around motorcycles and being excited about them. Whether you're a cruiser, whether you're a naked bike, whether you're a sport bike, whether you're a supermoto, it doesn't matter. Like, just come out, let's enjoy. So we did our first one last month. It was, what was that, June 3rd? June 3rd. It was a Wednesday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it was amazing. Like, we had around 120 people or so showed up to the event, and it was super exciting. It was fun to see everybody together, and it felt really like a cookout. Like, it felt like a family cookout, which was really awesome. So I'm hoping we can recreate that same exact feeling next week, July 8th, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. at the Tarpon Point Grill and Marina, which I don't have the address off the top of my head. I'll make sure we get the address on screen or something like that before we, as you guys view this. But excited for it. It's a really cool opportunity for us to get people to not have to travel an hour and a half to go north or an hour to go north. Right. They can come 40 minutes, 30 minutes. Some people will drive an hour. We've got some Fort Myers people said they're going to come. Some Cape Coral people said they're going to come out, which is great. It's a testament to what we're building from a community perspective, that people want to come out and they want to take the drive. Same as our Sunday rides or our Wednesday rides. People want to show up, which means we're doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. I like it. I didn't make it to the first one, but
yeah.
Definitely gonna make it to this one.
Yeah, this guy hit me up on Tuesday, like, it's tonight, right? And I'm like, nah, bro, it's tomorrow.
My days confused. Listen, man, it's been crazy. I'm not complaining.
Nah, you're doing your thing, man. We're excited to see it too.
Assistant to book my travel.
Right.
I'm doing a bad job at it.
That's funny.
For sure. Let's talk about the Monday night
Slow drills?
slow drills and stuff like that, because you also have tips that you guys are posting as well.
Yep.
So first, tell people how they can find the tips online.
Yep.
Find you guys online.
Yep.
And kind of talk about that, what to expect when you come out, and who is it for?
Yep. So our Monday night slow drills is for everybody, honestly. You can find us at 941 Moto Collective on Facebook. Search the group, or 941 Riders on Facebook. Search the group. Both of those. We're intermixed community, so I respond in each of those spaces. Mike responds in each of those spaces. Lonnie does, and some of the other people that are admins. But that's where we'll always post anything from that perspective. I don't just post those things on Instagram, because I feel like the exposure to Instagram, we don't get to vet who shows up.
Right.
But when we do our community stuff, there's a handful of questions there that people should answer. If people don't answer the questions, they don't get approved.
Gotcha.
And the reason for that is we need people to at least follow instructions.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to follow, what bike do you have? How far are you willing to ride? Will you listen to will you follow the community rules, and will you agree to the group ride rules? There's no reason to have you come along.
Okay. So you
Honestly,
can't just hit submit.
you can't just hit. You can, but it won't. If
won't-
you
it won't
don't
let
get
you
those questions in there, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, there's levels to that. It allows for us to gauge who's gonna follow instruction.
Right,
If someone wants to learn slow drills, that means you have to listen to a coach. And we have coaches there. Outside of myself, we have a gentleman named Chris. Chris has been a law enforcement moto educator in terms of riding, teaching like law enforcement motorcyclists how to ride motorcycles aggressively, do all types of crazy cone structures and setups for 30 plus years. So he comes out and he gives us a hand.
Nice.
That type of knowledge is powerful, and it's free. We're not charging people to do that. We're saying, hey, come on out. You know what I mean? And that is for anybody. But you got to go through those channels to see. And I post them in all different groups. Southwest Florida Riders, Fort Myers, right? I post in all the groups so people know, but most of those groups are private groups.
Right.
So they're not public groups. So everybody doesn't see it.
Now, let me ask, how is it that, I don't want to pick on other groups,
No.
but you're able to offer a lot of opportunity to folks. You got a few days of riding, so
Yep.
your Sunday morning ride,
Yep.
Wednesday ride, you got a once a month meetup, you got a
Yeah.
a Monday drill that you guys can do.
Totally.
And this is all free.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
how is it that it's possible with you guys and a lot of other groups? There's more payment for these same setup.
I can't speak on other groups, but what I can say is we only do what we can. We do exactly what we can. I have a paid riding thing, but that's for one-on-one mentorship, and that's street ride mentorship. I'm not track riding mentorship anybody, because that's not my space. My space is I know how to ride the street very, very well, and I can get people safe. I can get people understanding what I see when I'm out on the street, whether it's in high traffic areas or if it's in back roads. That has a pay gate to it, and that's because we only want to work with certain people. But when it comes to how we want to help develop the community of riders, everybody needs to learn slow drills, because slow drills translates to speed, like Mike said a little earlier, and most people don't think that. And a lot of people out here are scared to do slow stuff. The slow, small circles is how you get to a good cornering situation.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you adjust your speed mid-corner when you're trying to hit an apex. Like, all of that is from the little bit of hour and a half to 2 hours that we spend on a Monday night. But people don't connect the two.
Right.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Now, you guys got a lot of bikes back here.
Yeah.
List the bikes you have, and what's your favorite bike?
Mike, go first, please.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, man. I talk too much.
All right, I got an 11 R1.
Well, she ain't here right now because she finally got her wheels on, and he took her from me.
I got a 09 ZX10 that's behind us.
Yep.
I got,
the one I'm always riding.
Somebody got it.
We got two R3s. One's mine, one's his.
Yeah.
Don't really matter. And then I have my 13636, that's my go-to. I would say that is my favorite bike.
Nice.
Most comfortable. That's the one I love to send. It's the one I at least care about the most. So that's why it gets sent.
Good set.
Look,
That's the one I flipped at the track. It's got a big old dent in the tank.
There you go.
It's got character now.
that thing crazy.
It holds about a little bit less gas.
Yeah.
If y'all want to see the video, Mike posted it on our Instagram. Like,
It's on the
It's-
Instagram and the
yeah,
TikTok.
yeah.
We'll pop a link.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Daryl?
Oh man, so the same ZX10 that Mike's talking about is his is equally mine because I ride the hell out of this thing. I have one over there, which is just a frame. The motor's behind the camera. Just we got to do some rebuild to that motor. But my R1 Aura is my favorite bike to ride right here behind Mike. She's just a ball of fun. She's slow, but she a ball of fun.
We got the most work into this bike also.
Yeah. We did a motor rebuild on it. So we got this bike, blown motor, shitty condition. We rebuilt it last year. We've got 20.
Can we tell the whole story?
You can tell whatever story you want, bro.
So when he moved back to Florida from PA, we were actually going to clean out a storage unit, and he's like, "Yo, I found this R1 in Delaware," and I'm like, "That's great, but I have a topper on my truck because we need a topper to put his stuff from the elements in the bed of the truck."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yo, let's stop in South Carolina. I found this ramp." So we got one of them hitch ramps.
Yeah.
We detoured in like Maryland to the bank, got cash. Then we detoured all the way to Delaware. We state hopped.
Yeah.
We got there, and then him and the guy negotiated. And it was cold. We're Florida. I'm a tropical person, so I'm saying they're bickering over like $50, $100. I'm like, "Yo, can we just meet in the middle? Can you agree to pay 50 and you pay 50 less?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah." So that's how we got this bike blown up. Yeah, there's a story behind it.
Yeah. And that bike sat. It sat for almost 8 months.
Yeah.
Of us rebuilding the motor,
Yep.
getting time together because we're trying to do the business thing. We're trying to work on bike, and it sat, and we just finally got it together. We wound up flipping a couple bikes, so we had we had the CBR, we had an MT-07, we had a bunch of different other bikes, but they weren't for us to ride. They were bikes just to build. And that's how we wound up landing the R1 there. And then I did a bunch of gold customization because I got this thing for white and gold.
There you go. All right.
But yeah, that's my baby though. She get around.
Nice.
She get around.
Been out on the road with us.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Tell folks how they can find you if you're looking for gear.
Yeah.
If they're looking for advice on cornering and just slow riding and stuff like that. Also, if they need maintenance done.
Yeah. You can find us at Vagrant Automotive on Instagram, Vagrant Automotive on Facebook. You can find me at Apex_Flowrider on Instagram. It's Daryl Lane on Facebook. And you can call my phone. I don't even care. Like 267-934-5326. You can hit me up, text me, call me. It doesn't matter. I've had the same cell phone number. I've had the same number since 9th grade. I don't care, bro. Hit me up. We'll get it figured out.
We got the Vagrant Automotive TikTok.
Yep.
I'm RepairTech941 on Instagram. Mike Allen on Facebook. I believe you said the Vagrant on Facebook.
Yeah.
And we have our website, VTR Racing. You can email us through there also if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You can come out to the group rides and find us and talk to us directly. That'd be the most efficient.
Yeah. Come out on Mondays. It's a cool time. Everybody that comes out enjoys it. And the cool thing about it is when you can see how people grow over time, you see them come the first time they come and they're struggling. And then the second week, they're getting a little better. The third week, you're like, wow, they're really doing figure eights and circles and weaves. And the fourth time, the fourth time, you're like, damn, they don't even need us no more. Which is the point, right? Like, we want people to be able to come, get the information, get better, and survive the street. The street is where death is. There's less troubles on the track. The street is where the trouble is at. And we have to figure out how to get people to become more aware, ride with more precision, and better decision-making skills when it comes to their riding. And if we can get people to do that, game on.
Well, you've heard it, folks. My name is Rex45. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. I want to thank Daryl and Mike from Vagrant Automotive.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.